everyone, Maury Dunbar here back at Painted Studio. Welcome to Wednesday. It is hump day for sure. It's been a crazy chaotic week for me and I haven't had a chance to do a live in a couple days. So I'm going to open up my pad here. Takes me just a second, I know. Let me make sure the volume's down so nobody has to hear me on echo. And open my business page, not my personal page. That's not where we're live. That won't help. Okay, here we go. Found me. I know, so exciting. So, first of all, I wanted to share one more time how beautiful our egg and butterflies came out the other day from where we were using our liquid metal and we were doing the cross hatch technique here. And we were doing the pounce blending here. These are gorgeous. Now, what am I going to do over these? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to put some foil adhesive through a stencil. I'm not sure if I'm going to use a stencil and paint a pattern and put transfers. I haven't gotten that far with these because I came up with another idea when, as we know, I don't like to throw out stuff. I like to recycle. That's how I ended up doing those tins. Well, today, we're going to be using little gift boxes. Now, we all get them and everything. They come for all kinds of stuff, and they're nice little boxes, and you don't want to throw them away, but some of them have labels on them, like this is from Macy's. Some of them may have a sticker on them. Some may have, God only knows, something else printed on there that you don't want, but they're a good box. Now, my husband has a habit of raiding my wastebasket in the dressing room and stealing these boxes around the holidays and wrapping my gifts in them. Well, I'm going to actually leave him some nicer boxes to use, and we're going to apply foils to various boxes and see how that works. This is going to be either really successful or a huge disaster. I'm going to flip the camera down. So we're right down in my workspace, and you can see I've got a couple boxes here. Now, I put foil adhesive on these two lids. I have not done the sides. Why? Because it's A, a pain in the neck, and B, it will become gummy and sticky and not great to work on when you put the box lids on here. Yeah, some of these have little pieces of tape still stuck to the bottoms. I got them all off the tops, but because I knew I wasn't doing the bottoms, I forgot to peel it off the bottom of the boxes because I'm a genius that way. All right, throw that tape out. So we're going to start just with a little box. Now, if you needed a specific color, you could paint it, and then you want to let it dry a good 24 hours because this will dampen the cardboard. These are cardboard, so you have to be careful how much moisture you put on them without making them dissolve. Now, we are going to use Artsyville foil adhesive on here. I am obviously using a studio container, but this is, you can buy this size, you can buy a 4-ounce size, you can buy a quart size, and you can buy gallon size, right? This is just my pour off from my studio gallon so that I don't waste product. Because it can get, I keep opening and closing, it can get gummy. So I'm going to use a sponge brush. Yes, you could use a regular brush, but for something like this is one of the rare times you're going to see me use a sponge brush because this will go on here with no problem, easy, and it's a throwaway. And ideally, you might want to be doing more than one of these at a time. Now, I have used this brush and washed it out, and then we're using it again today, but we are definitely, oh, I just threw it sticky side down because don't do that. All right, I am making my own light. This is how my whole day has been, in case anybody's wondering. I have dropped everything I've touched. It's like jelly side down on everything. So I am just a disaster. Again, you want to have this, so I'm being texted, I'm being messaged, and I'm on Do Not Disturb, and it's still coming through. That's not what I wanted to have happen. So I'm smoothing this out. I'm tapping the corners where I just stuck my fingers. Hopefully that won't be too big a mess because obviously I dropped it. Now, and closing my lid on my foil adhesive before I spilled that everywhere, given the way the day has gone. And I'm going to take this one. Now this one I just put, just like you saw it, solid foil adhesive. There might be a little skipped spot there. And then I picked a color for my foil that would work over this, because I didn't bother to change the yellow. And yes, I know there is a thank you sticker there that may show as something. I don't know how it's going to show. We're going to find out. So here we go. Let me do this. This is our green blue tie-dye. I love this. This is one of my favorites. I had a whole table that I used to have outside in this color, and if any of you have saw the evolution, the foil held up well, but the table fell apart. We left it outside for 12 months just to see how it would hold up. But because the table was in the shade, the foil held up beautifully, but it was under trees, and we had rain and snow and all kinds of other stuff, and it was a very, very inexpensive fiberboard table. And that table did not hold up. The table exploded. Kind of went furry fuzzy. I'm going to take a little bit bigger brush just because it would be a little easier. Again, we do side to side and up and down, not in circles, because the circles could possibly, and I foiled on here already, the adhesive sticking to the piece here. I'm going to actually trim this because it's driving me crazy. I've got too much foil and it's hard for me to work around. I told you, today has been like Monday. I have dropped things, I have broken things, I have spilled things. You guys are watching me just be a complete and utter mess here. So, here we go. We're going to give this a little scrub. And this foil adhesive I applied last night, and we gave it overnight to dry. Again, because this is paper, I did not want to rush it. I wanted a chance for any moisture on here to evaporate so that my surface would be stable for me to do this. So I've got that on here. Now I know this is an easy release foil, so I should have a really, really nice release here. Yeah, I do. Now, is it perfect? No, but that's because I didn't put the foil adhesive on perfectly. If I'm not happy with how it goes, I come back, I grab a little more foil, give another little scrub in that area, fill in any spots. These spots, I'm telling you right now, any of the missed spots, it's because I was slapping this stuff on last night in a rush before I had to run out for an appointment. So these are areas that I did not get foil adhesive on. That is on me. That is not a foil release issue. That is a me application issue. But in general, this is very cute. This is a great idea. I like this. Will I probably put a little more foil adhesive on here and do that again? You bet I will, because I want that to look better. I'm going to actually use that. Came out the way I was hoping. Now this one, I applied a stencil. And again, I will say, I rushed through things. So I know that at some place on here there is a big old smear because it bled. I used this stencil and I didn't put any adhesive on here to keep it stable. And as you can see, this is big over this little surface. So without any adhesive on there to stabilize it, and I don't use fancy adhesive to put on stencil. I use a little 3M spray mount, spray glue, like that, and let it wait at least 10 minutes so that I can get a stable but not so sticky that it rips down to things bond on my surface. Now on this one, we're going to use our blue teal, what is this? Blue teal leopard. I always have to check the names because now I have so many foils I can't remember them all. And this one will probably get a little closer to finish because I know I got enough foil on here. But we're going to show you how I want to correct where I know the blooper is. So again, this I thought would look great over the silver. And you can do this for anything, from Easter to birthdays to Christmas. what Hanukkah, wherever, whenever you're giving a gift, it's always nice to have a really pretty and special box. And I guarantee you, if you do enough of these and you do them well, people will hang on to the boxes. They're going to get reused every year. Oh yeah. So I got to take the tape off there, so the foil adhesive grabbed differently, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that. Thought I got all the tape off of everything. So you can see we got a little different texture on here because this box has texture. And this was my blooper spot, but because there's tape on the corners, there's actually a little blooper there because it released differently than it did on the textured box. I'm learning as I'm doing this. This was just a late night idea. I came to the studio, threw some stuff on, and hoped it worked. And while the idea worked well, my technique was a disaster. So what I'm going to do here is see what I have in some of my transfers. And we do carry transfers. We carry all kinds of interesting stuff. And this is something I'd use for something else. I have no idea what's left in here. And I have little bits and bops of everything from this transfer. So I think what I'm going to do, because I like these blues and the blue-green, I'm just going to cut this down to where it's useful for what I want. And then I think I'm probably going to take it right over there. So I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to cut this little piece here because that's not going to be of any use to me. And these redesigned transfers, they all come mounted on a little piece of paper to protect this because the transfers are like temporary tattoos, and they're mounted on the back of the carrier film, just like when you would use something off of a Cricut cutter and stuff like that. So I've got that there. I'm going to trim this down a little bit just so I don't get any extra release that I don't want. It'll make it easier for me to do my design on here. Okay, so I've got that there, and use your little wooden stick. Now what I would like under this is something firm so I can get a better scrub and I don't break the box. Now I'm just going to stick a little paint jar under here. I'm going to unstick that from my hand, and I'm going to give a little scrub. And here's a trick. If you don't find that you're getting quite the release you want by using a stick to rub it, get a smaller stick, use your fingernails, use whatever you want. Now these are going to release pretty well because there's a little foil adhesive on here, so that adds a little extra grab to my transfer. So here we go. Again, I'm not pulling straight up on my transfer because that's tension on the surface that you don't want. Let's get that right there. And see, now we have added to that and made it a little something extra there. I'm going to put a little something here and in each corner to hide that tape spot. I just want to find the same colors. I don't want to add any of that orangey stuff that I was looking at because it's not right for what I'm doing. So we're going to take this little spot here and we're going to stick it on this corner. And we should have a good, easy release on that. Again, stick my little paint jar under here so I have slightly firmer surface so I don't end up accidentally breaking the box. And let's get that corner. Okay, there we go. So there's that. And I just have one little spot. Now, I don't think that's going to work for me. And throw that piece there. Let's see what I've got left here that is that pretty, pretty blue-green that's in there. So I'm going to come in here. And yeah, as you can see, I just cut them apart to give me what I need. Don't be afraid to dismantle a transfer to get what you want, where you want it. And we'll just tuck it in like that on that side. Go back up on my box, my jar again, so I don't break the box. Pull that off. So now I've made myself a really pretty gift box. See, I told you I am all elbows today. So let's zoom in on what I have done today. On here. Come on, give me the image so I can zoom it in for you. Oh my gosh. I told you, I'm having this kind of a day. Every time I click on something, I end up closing it. There we go. So look how pretty that box is. That is really nice. And if I find it's a little sticky, I can put a very thin coating of one of my top coats on there, like AquaGuard. I could even use a little spray lacquer on there, a little can of spray top coat, acrylics. I am very, very pleased with this. This is super pretty. I'm sorry, I'm watching myself to make sure I get it in frame so you can see it. You can see it this way. So I've created an under pattern with foil and an over pattern with my transfers that came out great. This is going to be better once I put another layer of foil on adhesive on here, because you can see this is where I failed. I did not do a good job of applying my foil adhesive. So I lost my sponge brush, so I'm going to grab a different brush. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to move things because I am making a mess like you can't believe all day today. I can't get away from myself. So, and there is a little circle in this center of this that has where the thank you sticker was stamped. I tried to get it off, but I started doing that and it started ripping down. I'm like, forget it, I'll come up with something, I'll put something in the center there. That'll be a better option. So I'm going to take my little brush here. I'm going to do a better job at coating this so it's more uniform and I get better bonding. And I will come back, I will put more on here. And will I put a transfer on here? Maybe. I had some other cool ones. That leopard pattern would look awesome on something. I'm going to see how it all comes out. I'm kind of get into the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry, I pull towards myself because that's how I normally paint. And then I've closed down the screen a little bit, so now you can't see what I'm doing. This is going to sit overnight. This, because I'm not sure, because I kept dropping it, and I can already see spots that I've missed, I'm going to put a little more foil. Normally I don't put this much foil adhesive on anything. I don't usually have to recoat, but I did a crappy job, and I'm owning that. So, you've got the idea. We've had one success. We've had one not so successful. I think by tomorrow we should have a couple of really good successes. And we'll have some beautiful gift boxes. But here you go. This is what the goal was. This is the one that I'm happy with. This did exactly what I needed to do, and the transfers hid any of the little funny spots because I forgot to take the tape off. So here we are back up. Let me open the screen up so that we're not looking up my nose. I'm going to keep it short because you can see what a mess I how accident prone I am today. I don't know what's going on, but it's the morning start, like from the minute I woke up, I knocked something off my bedstand. So we're not going to stay on long because I might blow up the place. All right, everybody, have a great day. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Enjoy, get some spring air, and make a pretty little gift box. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.